Then Jiminy went towards the place he and Equinox had scouted, and, he thought, that he would blow up as retaliation for his cousin's death. Then he left the temple and headed off to his mission. He knew that his bow and arrows would stop anyone from fleeing the wreckage. Back at the base, Xbox saw all the inventories of the fallen players thrown into graves, with banners flying above them. 4 other players, apparently friends of Phantom, had come to console her, but it didn't appear to be working. Xbox looked up and thought he saw a figure in the trees, not too far from the base. He hoped that the player didn't see him. In hand was Equinox's bow and arrow, with 4 more from a skeleton. The redstone was all set, even though Jiminy knew barely anything about it, to know that with only one flip of the lever in front of him, the entire complex, only 30 blocks away, would explode. Then he stopped. Did he really want to kill these players who hadn't done anything to him? Then he thought of his cousins' bodies and inventories. This was for them, he thought. Then he heard, "Jiminy, don't." He turned and saw a girl in full iron armor, arms crossed, looking at him, from only 2 blocks away. At first, Jiminy thought it was another of Equinox's tricks, but how? Equinox was dead. Jiminy saw that with his own eyes. But still, he punched the image. His fist, however, went through it. The girl frowned. "Really, Jiminy? That's how you treat your girlfriend?" Jiminy retracted his fist. Magenta? How are you talking to me?" Magenta rolled her eyes. "I have no idea. But 1 second I was in limbo, the other I was here." "Okay. Well, anyway, I came to tell you to not blow up the base." "Hold up. You want me to not blow up the base of the people that killed Equinox and Netherockus?" "Yeah. After Equinox kidnapped them and Netherockus trapped one of them." Jiminy was silent. As usual, Magenta was right, and as usual, Jiminy couldn't combat her logic. "Magenta, yes? Do you still love me after this?" "Of course," she said. "Okay," he said, and turned and pulled the lever. And the base exploded in a ball of flame. Xbox crawled out of the wreckage. Ignoring his many bruises and burns, he dug in the wreckage until he found Phantom's body. She was badly bruised, and a piece of an iron sword in her stomach. No, Xbox said. No, you can't die." Phantom smiled weakly up at him. "It's okay," she said. "I'm fine." She got up, but the iron sword shard wouldn't let her. Xbox yanked the shard out and helped her up, but even on her feet, Phantom struggled to stand. Xbox looked around. Phantom's other friend's items lay on the floor. Only one stood on her feet, iron sword in hand. She saw them and ran towards them, but an arrow slammed into her chest, and her inventory burst out in a pile. Both Phantom and Xbox turned, and there, in a tree, was Jiminy. He held a bow and aimed it at Phantom, but then the bounty hunter stopped, put his bow down, and turned, fleeing. Xbox could almost make out another player, a girl in full iron armor, following him, weeping. Xbox turned to Phantom, who held a diamond pickaxe in her hand. The player ran out of the destruction. Other than a bruise on his left arm, he looked fine. He held an iron axe and held an iron sword and bow on his back. He clutched 4 arrows in his other hand. "We have to go after him," said the player. "Yeah, you're right," Phantom agreed. Both turned to Xbox. "Xbox?" Phantom asked. Xbox was deep in thought. "What? We have to go after him." "Oh, alright." Jiminy stood in an oak, not too trying to see if they would follow him. They did. He leaped from tree to tree, thankful that his father taught him how to use parkour. He dodged another of a player's arrows. Then, out of nowhere, Xbox flew from a tree, diamond pickaxe in hand. Jiminy unsheathed both iron swords and knocked him back. Phantom appeared, also with iron axe in hand. She swung at him, but with ease he snapped the leaf and branches from under her, and she fell down. He tried to somehow get away. He jumped into a meadow, and then his heart stopped. In front of him was his dead cousin and girlfriend, Magenta and Equinox. How are you guys alive? And more importantly, how are you guys talking to me? Well, you see, Equinox began. We don't know, Magenta said. But look, my advice is give up right now. You don't, like, they're just gonna come and you should surrender. Equinox shoved her and walked up to him. Look, man, they killed me, and I think they would have killed her. So, best bet is use your bow and arrow that you have, and shoot all of them. You have enough arrows, don't you? Yeah, I got 6. Good. Jumini, you sure about this? Yeah, I'm sure, he said, turning. The two figures disappeared, and there, in front of him, crashed Phantom, Xbox, and Player.